Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to help you overcome driving anxiety. This video contains a fun, simple but powerful technique which can help you get back to driving just the way you used to. My name's Paul and I work online with people all over the world to help them overcome their fear of driving. And one thing I would like to say just before we begin is that what we're going to do in this video is absolutely nothing like a professional one-to-one private session with me would be. So this can work for many people, but it's just one little technique we do, which is nothing like working with me privately, because when we work privately, we have a conversation. It goes back and forth. And if you want to know more about how YouTube videos are limited in the way they can help, check out the link in the description to a page on my website all about that. But having said that, this does work for some people, and for some of you, you're about to overcome your problem once and for all. So let's get going. The first thing you need to do is I recommend you watch this video through normally once, then watch it back to actually do what I'm about to say the second time round, because the first time you really need to get an idea of what's coming up, and the second time you watch this video you may find it helps if you just close your eyes, helps you just focus. But the first time, just watch it through to get an idea of what we're going to do. So you need to think of a time when you're driving, and by the way, this can be used for other things, flying, public speaking, whatever. Many problems can be helped with this. It's not just driving, but I'm basing this specific video on driving. I want you to think of a time when you're driving and you just about start to have a problem. So not when you're in a full-blown panic, but I want you to think of when the problem is just about starting. And the key thing you must do for this to work, and here's a big tip, please listen carefully to this, you must really throw yourself into this. You've got to give it 100%. So what I mean by this is, I'm going to imagine that I've got a fear of driving over bridges. So I'm going to imagine a time, and I think, okay, so I'm in the car and I'm coming up to that roundabout, and I've gone round and I've come off the roundabout, and there's that restaurant on the left. I always see that restaurant and my stomach starts to feel a bit funny because I know there's a bridge coming up, and I start to feel a bit shaky in my arms, and yeah, I can feel it. My hands are starting to sweat a bit, and that's how you do it. You really have to make this as vivid and clear as you can. Now, some people see, most people are what we call visualizers. They see. So some people, even with their eyes shut, because you're doing this with your mind, they say, yeah, so I can see myself, I'm in the car, I can see the passenger next to me, I can see this, I can see that. But if you can't see things, I never see these things, I'm not a visualizer. Use one of your other senses. So maybe you can hear things. Some people say, yeah, I can imagine the sound of the traffic, the sound of the car, the way the wheel kind of makes a slight hissing sound when I turn it. I can hear the window slightly rattles in the wind. Some people, it's touch. They say, I can feel the wheel, and the way I'm sitting now, I can feel the car seat. So use any of your senses at all for this. It doesn't have to be visualizing. If you struggle with doing that, one thing you can do is go and actually sit in your car, but do not drive it, right? Do not, under any circumstance, drive your car while you are doing this, or for up to 24 hours after this, because you need to let your mind settle, let everything process, get back to normal. So by all means, sit in the car, because sometimes that helps to bring the feeling on, but do not go and drive it and then blame me because something goes wrong, okay? Do not drive your car for up to 24 hours after doing this. And if you still don't feel right after that, wait longer. So sit in it, but I recommend maybe leave the key in your house, or don't put it in the ignition if you've got an ignition key. Just sit in the car, but do not drive it. You need to get this vivid and clear in your mind. So you're looking for this time when you are about to get to the bridge or the freeway, the highway, the motorway, whatever, because I work with people all over the world, different terms all over the world. You need to really get it vivid and clear, okay? So how you don't do it is this. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I can imagine it. Yeah. The worst problem in the world, it's ruining my life. Really? I've worked with people like that. You have to be really going for it, give it everything. So that's the first thing to do. When you've done that, I then want you to do the exact same thing, but this time see yourself having done, or hear yourself, or I don't want to say feel yourself, but you know what I mean. Use one of your senses to tell after the event. So after you've done it, imagine you've done it, imagine you've succeeded, think of a time you have done it in the past perhaps, and you have to get that clear and vivid. So you've done it, you've beaten it, whatever you want to phrase it, term it, whatever, you've done it, you've achieved your goal. And you must take time, each of these two things, so you've got the what I call A and B. A is when you've got the problem, B is when you've succeeded. So picture A, picture B, sound A, sound B, whatever. You've got to take time. This can take 10 minutes, half an hour. It can take several attempts over several weeks. But you must get those feelings, emotions, sights, sounds, whatever, touch. You must get them accurate. So before the problem, just when it's beginning, when you're starting to get nervous, and after. Now when you've done that, here's what you do. I want you, and again this is I find best with eyes closed, you don't have to, it's up to you. I want you to think of A. So A is the picture, sound, whatever. I'm going to say picture A from now on. If you do it sound, just swap the word picture for sound. I want you to get picture A in your mind. Clear, vivid, really, really vivid, okay? And I want you to really, really go for it and get it in your mind and take your time. And then what I want you to do is when you've done that, keep thinking about it for a while. And then I want you to let that picture fade, and I want picture B to come in instead. So see yourself now when you've actually done it. So you're celebrating you've done it. And you can take your time doing this. You don't have to follow along at the pace I'm doing this. Take your time and get A, then get B. Now what I want you to do, and this is really important, is I want you to clear that scene, the picture, the sound, whatever. And the way you do this is I want you to actually physically do this. I want you to get your hand and I want you to swipe in front of you like that as you make a sound. Now, the classic sound used in therapy is swish. So people go swish. And I know it sounds a bit funny, there is a reason behind all this, trust me on this. Some people prefer to use the sound like zoom, it's going. My favourite one is boom. I like to go boom, the problem's gone. And you've got to throw yourself into this. Get your hand, imagine you're erasing a blackboard or a whiteboard or whatever, and you go swoosh, and you imagine the problem shooting off into the distance. So you now clear, your mind's eye clear of the thoughts. Again, the way you don't do it is to go swish. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, it just feel good, feel bad. Swish. Doesn't work. You've got to put effort in. Right. When you've done that, I want you to think of something completely unrelated to any of this. So think of maybe what you're doing at the weekend. Think of what you're doing in the week, if it's already the weekend. Think of what you're going to eat for your next meal. Think of who the last person who phoned you was. Think of something totally away from all this. I'm not going to explain why we do this, it will be too long, this video. Just think of something totally different. Now this time we're going to start again once you've done that. clear the whole lot. This time I want to get picture A back, but there's one difference. You'll notice at the corner of the picture is picture B. So you've got picture A, like a big picture, like on a TV. Picture B is a little picture in the corner, a bit like when you maybe watch one of my videos when I'm driving and you see the front camera filling the screen and you can see the interior camera showing me at the corner. Now if you didn't do it with visuals, do it by having like a loud sound and a quieter sound, or a heavier touch and a lighter touch. That's what I need to do. So you're seeing the bad picture is full screen and the good picture is little. And what you're going to do is you're going to make the picture swap over. So when you go whoosh or zoom or bang, boom, whatever sound you're making, sing a song if you want, doesn't matter. I want you to swap the two pictures over. So you've got the big picture is a big, clear, bad image, and you've got the good one, little, in the corner. And over time, this can take at least 5 goes of you going swish. You're going to swap. So the little picture in the corner of success slowly gets bigger, and the big picture of your failing gets smaller. And the one that's in colour, if it's in colour, it's up to you. The bad picture fades to black and white, and the little picture goes from being dark and black and white to bright. So let's go through this from the beginning because it can be a bit confusing. I want you to get the bad picture. So when you're starting to have a problem, starting to get nervous, that's picture A, sound A, picture A, whatever. I'm just going to keep saying picture A. You then get the one when you've seen yourself doing it, you've done it, you've succeeded. That's picture B, sound B, whatever. You start off having the bad picture big, so the badness is clear, and the goodness is a little picture, little sound, whatever, in the corner, in the background. You look at it like that, and then you go swish, boom, bang, whatever. And then you clear the state. So you think of something different. Think of what you're going to do the weekend. You then go back, and you've got the bad picture is still big, but the good one is getting bigger and brighter as the bad one is getting smaller, darker. So the good is kind of growing and replacing the bad, like you've probably seen on videos where you transition from one scene to another. So each time you've done that, each time you've grown the picture, you do your swoosh, bang, boom, whatever, clear the state. Go back to visualizing, hearing. So it's good and bad picture, good one getting bigger, bad one getting smaller. Do your swoosh, whiz those images over. When you swoosh, you're just kind of pushing them away, like swoosh. The images, the sounds have gone. You're just kind of clearing the slate, like wiping them clean. Then you think of something different. Again, think of the pictures. The bad one getting smaller and darker, the good one getting bigger and brighter. When you've got that clear, swoosh, wish them away. Then you clear the state again by thinking of what flavour drink have I got in the fridge, something like that. And you repeat that over and over again. So you need to repeat this process for as long as it takes, at least 5 swishes minimum. If you want to do it for 10, 20, whatever, that's up to you. And yes, you can repeat this. You can do it maybe once in the morning and then maybe once in the afternoon, do it again the next day, whatever you want. You don't have to keep doing it. Some people do it once and that's it. But if you want to keep repeating this, do it over and over. And then when you feel better, after you've had a rest, because it can become emotional for some people, they can bring up memories, thoughts, whatever, and it can get emotional when they feel a change happening. But when you feel safe and settled and you've had a rest, your mind's had a chance to process things overnight, then go out for a drive and see how you feel. If you do that successfully, I can promise you, you'll notice quite a difference. Now, there is science behind how this works. It's not just people think, well, this is crazy. There is actually science behind it. It does work. It's proven to work. I've seen results with this. Like, it's not what I would do in a session. What I do in sessions is way more advanced, and you don't need to do all this swooshing and stuff. But this is the best I can do for you without having interaction. So I want you to do that And I want you to leave in the comments how it's worked for you. Let me know what's happened. It will not work for everyone, okay? Sometimes because people don't do it properly, sometimes because they just don't get it. Everyone has different things that work for them. So when I work with people online, again, I don't do this kind of thing online, but I can quickly think, well, do this. If it's not working, well, switch to something else, switch to something else. You can't do that in a video. So these videos are very limited. But if you do want to work with me one-to-one, visit my website, firstdrive.com. You can contact me there. Check out these other videos on the screen now for more help overcoming your fear of driving. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.